Time, money, and energy. That's right. Wow. Well, let's talk a little bit more about those three limited resources, and they are very limited. What can you tell us, so that we can make the best of those three?
Well, the three limited resources we all have: time, money, and energy. There's only so much of each to go around for each of us.
Right. Never enough. We always want more.
We always want more.
Right.
And,
Me too.
And yes, and so sometimes we act as if there is more. And of course, there isn't. Sometimes they are limited. We need to organize each of them, because if we run out of one, we tend to also run out of the others. For example, if you start running out of time, what happens? You spend more money. When you start running out of energy, then you start being Mr. Scrooge, and then you start ruining everybody's holiday.
Sure.
They all interact with each other. So these are the things you have to organize. You have to rein them in, you have to unclutter, and you have to have a plan for how you're going to spend your time, because we already talked about the fact that there's never enough.
Never enough.
Your money,
right.
And if you overexpend, then you have to deal with that next year in debt.
Right.
No one wants to do that either.
No.
And if you overexpend your energy, you become stressed. And that affects everyone else on the holidays, and no one wants to do that. We want to be ho-ho and jolly.
That's right, absolutely. As you say, more like Santa.
More like Santa than Scrooge. And when we
Exactly.
start pushing our limits of time, money, and energy is when we cross that line and become the old Scrooge.
Right, very important. Wow. Well, what's the formula for de-stressing during the holidays? Have
Well,
you got some? Go ahead.
Forgive me.
That's all right.
Looking at those three, here's the key formula that I always find work for me and work for people I've taught. You spend your time and energy on tasks you enjoy. That gives you the most out of the holidays. If you have tasks that you don't enjoy and you cannot eliminate them, you try to make them pleasant and look at them as a choice. If you can't make them pleasant, spend your money on them, not your time and energy. For example, if you run out of time to bake,
right.
go to a place that's having a home good bake sale that's raising money for charity, and buy your home baked pies, cookies, and cakes there, and be happy with that choice.
Sure. Sure.
Don't second guess yourself.
And there are a lot of them this time of year.
There's a lot of opportunities for
They're
us
out
to
there.
do something a little bit different and share the wealth.
Sure.
And if you can eliminate a task, do so for this 1 year. We've got to keep in mind there'll be another holiday season. It's going to come next year. We know when it's coming.
Right.
We have 365 days to plan.
To get ready,
so that we can say, not this year, I've run out. I don't have enough, but I'll throw that back in next year.
Right, right.
So
and
that's
work on
it.
for next year.
Time and energy on what you like. Throw money at what you don't like, but you can't eliminate.
Right, right. No, I love that one about the baked goods, because as I said, there are so many. You can almost go to any Walmart, and there's somebody out there selling for a charitable cause, selling baked goods or something like that. So I like that one especially.
Yeah, so. It's one I do, because I don't have enough time.
Right, if you don't have enough time to bake. That's right. So, well, with only a few days left before Christmas, how can we manage our time to get done what we really want to get done and what we really need or want to accomplish for Christmas?
Well, it's never too late to make a calendar. So if you haven't sat down with your calendar and written down all the holiday activities, not just the scheduled ones, the parties and the religious ceremonies and so on, but you need to fill in, when are you going to shop? Not just for gifts, but for your food. When are you going to bake, if you're going to bake? When are you going to wrap gifts? You need to jot down the tasks you need to do and kind of line out when you're going to do them. Remembering another thing, not to overschedule, for two reasons. First of all, everything takes longer.
Right.
Lines are longer, traffic's slower, parking's crazier, more people are in the stores. Everything takes longer, so you got to remember to build in
You
some
got to build that in
extra
there.
time.
That's right.
And number two, there's a lot of stuff outside of our control that we also can't overschedule, because we don't know about illness, accidents in the road,
Traffic,
weather.
Right.
we weren't too sure about today,
That's
for
right,
example.
that's right.
You know, all of this is such that you still can't overschedule. So this is not the time to add stuff into your schedule. And the last thing I want to say is be mindful that time is not running out. There's a lot of time. So you can plan your gift giving around extending the holiday season. For example, if you are going to bake, you can bake less now and give an IOU for more cookies or cakes at another time next year, like
That's
a
a good thought.
birthday or an
Sure.
anniversary
Sure.
or another
Sure.
celebration time. And you can do that with a lot of your gifting. You can also have your holiday party in January, which is what I always did. Who has time in December? Do that in January.
Sure.
You can have things like come and help me take down the Christmas tree Christmas tree.
Oh, that's a great
and,
idea. I
you
like
know, and I'll
that.
supply the
Sure.
food.
Right.
Kind of get
And
together.
you get some help.
You get
taking
help.
the tree down. And you
Can
get
you have another party?
Have another